Hi there again. So this question is a primary 6 mathematics question based on ratios. So the question says a certain number of students from school C and D went on a trip. It says there were twice as many students from school D as school C at the trip. So this is a very important piece of information as it gives us the relationship between the total number of students from school C and from school D at the trip. Next, we are given the ratio of the number of boys to girls from school C and school D. The question goes on to say that the students were grouped into 20 teams of 6 girls and 10 boys. The remaining boys form one smaller group. So we understand that there are 20 teams and each team has 6 girls and 10 boys. And there are a few boys left which formed one smaller group. So question A is, what was the ratio of the number of boys to girls at the school trip? So first, let us draw a table to organize all the information that has been given to us. Okay, so the ratio of the number of boys to girls from school C was 2:7. So that will be 2 and 7. So the total will be 2 plus 7, which is 9. So the ratio of the boys to girls in school D was 5:1. So that will be 5 and 1 with a total of 6. Okay, so question A is, what was the ratio of the number of boys to girls at the school trip? So what we need to do is we need to find the ratio of the total number of boys in schools C and D to the total number of girls. As you know, we cannot simply just add these two ratios as the value of each unit from school C and D may be different. However, the question says that there were twice as many students from school D as school C at the trip. So I'm going to adjust the ratio of school D accordingly. Okay, so we are told that the total number of students in school D is twice the number of students as school C. So I'm going to adjust the ratio now. So the total number of students in school D will be 9 times 2, which is 18. We also need to adjust the ratio between the number of boys to girls in school D, which is 5:1. So once again, we cannot simply multiply 5 and 1 by 2 because it is a total number of students in school D, which is twice that of school C. Okay, so if we take a look at 6 and 18 here, we know that 6 times 3 equals 18. Therefore, I will now multiply 1 and 5 by 3 to get the adjusted ratio. So that will be 3 and 15. So now we can cross check. 15 plus 3 is equal to 18. So now I will write the adjusted ratios separately. So school C will be 2:7, which is a total of 9. School D will be 15:3 with a total of 18. So question is, what was the ratio of the number of boys to girls at the school trip? So now what we need to do is we need to add these two ratios to get the answer. So that will be 17 boys, 10 girls with a total of 27. So the answer for question A will be 17:10. Okay, moving on. Question B is, how many boys form the smaller group? So to go about this question, we need to find out the total number of boys at the school trip, or in other words, the value of the 17 units of boys. So the question says there were 20 teams of 6 girls and 10 boys. the remaining boys formed one smaller group. So one team had 6 girls and 10 boys. So 20 teams had 120 girls and 200 boys. So we understand that there are no remaining girls. However, there are few boys remaining, and this is what we need to find. Okay, so the ratio of the total number of girls at the trip is 10. And now we found out that there were 120 girls at the school trip. So now we derived that 10 units is equal to 120 students. Therefore, 1 unit is equal to 120 divided by 10, which is 12 students. Okay, so now we move on to the boys. So there were 17 units of boys at the trip. So we know the value of 1 unit. So 1 unit is 12. Therefore, 17 units will be 12 times 17, which is 204. Okay, so there were 204 boys in total at the school trip. However, only 200 of them were put into the larger teams, and the remaining formed a smaller group. So 204 minus 200 is 4. So the number of boys that formed the smaller group would be 4.